DAO Watch 36. In this episode, we look at Dash and some sort of idea to raise the price of Dash and some mechanism to do it. We look at Arbitrum and how they're going to be handling AI, or some plan to handle AI on Arbitrum and AI projects. We look at Aave and the delegate incentive proposal. So we find out exactly how much Aave delegates get paid. Anybody could be an Aave delegate, even you. So this could be interesting. And finally, we look at Cryptosi DAO and how Cryptosi DAO are handling decentralized partnerships. So this is DAO Watch episode 36. I am Cryptosi. Thank you for watching. And without any further ado, let's take it away. Hello, welcome to DAO Watch episode 36, and yeah, let's get started. Obviously, the background behind me now is Cryptosi DAO, which is going to be our guest DAO for this particular episode. I'm going to try to include this DAO as much as possible because, of course, it has a great name named after me. But let's get started. We're going to get started with Dash, and in particular, this proposal right here, which is well, first of all, let's do a quick recap on Auto Show, which we featured 2 weeks ago. It looks like at the moment it's doing a lot better than it was before. So we're at 298 yeses. Let's see, type of thing we should be building. Fantastic use case. Command line right now is accessible by command line, and backend server front end UI is in development for the paid product version, which will launch in April. So it looks like it's coming along nicely. Last week, maybe it was last week we done Auto Show. Oh no, last week we didn't feature Dash at all. Well, this week we're doing this proposal, which is titled Increase Scarcity to Increase Value. Super vague. Super vague title this. Increase the scarcity of what exactly, and to increase the value. How are you judging this value? And that, I think, is at the crux of the problem with this particular proposal. So let's get into it. This was written by a guy called Foro68, or maybe a girl, who knows, or maybe a woman. Currently, it's not doing too well. We've got 20 yeses, 108 nos. So what is this proposal about? Dash is a great crypto, yada, 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 but it has fallen down the ranks to the top 10 to now around 155. The only real holders left are the masternode owners. A full 20% of all mined Dash are handed out and dumped on the market every month. That's too much for the market to bear. It suppresses the price, and so the price is in steady long-term decline in both fiat and compared to Bitcoin. I feel like I need some light on this situation. Let me get the light on. Okay, sorry about that. Just had to shed some light on this due to my melanated nature. Okay, so where were we? We're just looking at this proposal, right? So they're saying that full 20% of the mined Dash handed out dumped on the market. It's too much to hand. So they must change. We've spent millions of dollars over the years on market and development, and none of it has stopped its slide down the rankings. Okay, so I know what's a good idea. Let's spend less. Because the tokenomics are bad, we must increase scarcity to increase the value so that people are willing to hold and save in Dash. Dash truly can serve the world if we fix the tokenomics. Now this, I think, it doesn't take into account what has made other projects successful. It's just one man's opinion. The proposal will return the treasury from the current 20% of all mined Dash back to its original 10% and distribute the other 10% to the masternodes. Oh, interesting. As a result, the return on investment for masternodes will increase, making masternodes a more attractive investment. assuming that the masternodes don't just dump it, but it's also concentrating the wealth in a quicker time span. We've had this proposal before. We've had it so many times, so many different variations. Same argument over and over again, which there is nothing particularly wrong with. There will be a link to this proposal down in the description, and I do invite you to give your opinion on whether or not you think this is a good idea. Let's look at the pros and cons. The pros are, this is a very, 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 very easy to understand proposal. The cons are, this is a very, very, very short proposal. It's more about vibes than it is about actual tangible evidence. There is no evidence of what he says. There is no even case study to suggest. There is no discussion about how much is being bought or how much of the treasury is being dumped or what people are doing with their treasury money when they get it. I've been paid from the Dash Treasury before. I still have that Dash as Dash. So just because you've got Dash, it doesn't mean to say you're going to immediately sell it. The argument also, I guess, gets larger when you consider that when you have Dash, you can't stake it. So you can't keep pace with the inflation of Dash. So you are getting inflated away as far as value is concerned, in a way. An alternative argument would be there needs to be some sort of staking mechanism for Dash, possibly. Maybe a portion of fees go to stakers in some way or another, and then we try to raise the fees. This idea that all of the treasury proposal Dash, it gets dumped on the market every month. There is no evidence. There's no evidence to support it. There are no Dash addresses. There are no, okay, here's the last 5 cycles. Here's all the money that got paid out. Here is the money moving to exchanges, or here is a percentage of the money that has stayed in those wallets. The proposal owner hasn't even bothered to do that. Join me and support this common sense proposal with absolutely no evidence. Stop the never-ending slide of Dash's value and help to bring it back to the top 10 where it belongs as a veteran Dino coin with extremely solid fundamentals to the benefit of all people. To Sam, Joel, and the rest of the treasury recipients, you know what I say is true. It seems you already hold masternodes, so please stop taking advantage of the system, stop being greedy, and support this proposal. Okay, so the likes of Sam and Joel, who do hold masternodes, they should stop being greedy and stop getting paid, so that this man can stop being greedy and his bags can get pumped. So what you're really saying is that these people should work for free to help pump your bags, possibly, although you haven't even bothered to take the time to collect any tangible evidence to back up your spurious claims. For me, this one is a no. I think I've been a lot more harsh about it in this video than I was in my comments. If it passes, and this line is sheer comedy. This line is sheer comedy. If it passes, all currently funded proposals will simply be reduced by half in order to transition to 10%. Oh, well, that's fine, isn't it? So we had before about a proposal about paying for it's probably about a year ago now, a mica license. That will just cost a certain amount. You can't just cut that in half halfway through just because you want Sam and Joel to work for free to pump your bags. Yeah, so for me, of course, this increased scarcity to increase value is definitely a no. I would love it if people like this would take the time to put together real proposals that have more than just an idea thrown out. Why from 20% down to 10%? Is this 10% an arbitrary number? Why half? Why not 5%? Why not 2%? What we going on here? I've put a comment here. Let's see what Grandmaster Dash says, because we know he's always angry. There is so much broken with Dash, and I really don't believe this proposal will change what is broken. That one is true. But on the other hand, I'm voting yes on this simply because it reduces money that goes to Sam TCG. Those deserve everything that's coming to them. Quite a lot of Dash is going to them. So are you saying they deserve quite a lot of Dash? I get it that he's angry. So I do get that. I get the idea behind that, what he means. Let Dash go to 14 USD and all but kill off those parasites so that Dash can rebuild from the ground up without all this fake governance stuff. Good luck to you. The interesting, how would Dash rebuild from the ground up with no developers to pay for, no money to pay for developers? How would you manage that? And if you can develop stuff without the developers actually getting paid, if you know a way to do it, why don't you prove it? Why don't you go and develop something for Dash, take a look at the GitHub, see something that needs to be done, find some developers that will work for free, the same guys that are going to rebuild Dash when it goes to $14, get them to build something just to prove it. If you can do that, we may start to not mock you. I'm going to leave this one there. Yeah, I'm going to leave this one there. I like that Last Surgeon came in. I did downvote that one. I do think he does make a point that this doesn't change the things that are broken within Dash. But then on the other hand, this other stuff is just angry man shouting into the clouds, really, with not much sense behind it. So let's move on. That one, as I said, is a no from me. I like the discussion. I would just like more meat to this proposal. Like, show us where all these mined coins are going, prove it, and give us a more of a plan on how you're going to get development done with half the money, how you're going to get marketing done with half the money. Show us how it will work. Don't just tell us to do it and to blindly trust you. That's silly. Let's move on. Now we are on to Arbitrum. This is another massive proposal. Not missing the AI train. This one's interesting, right? Because we've got this guy, Daniel Ospina. Daniel Ospina is somebody who I feel like I've met in person, although I'm quite sure I haven't. But anyway, he's a DAO guy. He's been around a lot. He gets to go and talk at summits and various stuff. He looks the part. He's quite a smart guy, actually, to be fair. I shouldn't say he looks the part. That's quite rude. Feeling quite rude today. Don't know why. Okay, so this proposal is put forward by RnDAO as a critical need we have identified and not as a service provider bid. So they're putting this forward as something that needs to be done, not something that they want to do. We don't have a direct financial interest. As such, we invite the DAO to rally around this cause and offer not just feedback, but also solutions and leadership. Okay, I'm going to skip through all of this. I will put the link in the description, but what it is saying in a nutshell is that AI is taking over the crypto space. AI coins since the turn of the year have all got smashed to bits, but AI remains the single biggest technology boom that we have seen since crypto itself, I would say. It's going to become an industry bigger than crypto, if it's not already. I don't think it is now, no, but it will be eventually. And a lot of the AI stroke crypto crossover will make for massive projects on certain chains. And why should Arbitrum not be left behind? So as Daniel Ospina is essentially saying, let's get together, let's put together some kind of team and let's get them reaching out to AI projects and bring in some of the most talented AI projects onto Arbitrum train so that we get their traffic and so that we can help them grow. Pretty much. So he's gone through over a team composition, program manager, comms and community manager, which is dev relations. This is a massively underrated position, developer relations. It's something I think really gives projects chances to grow and networks chances to increase the likelihood of successful products being created. The technical lead, tech lead and additional team members. Yep. So we're looking at 1, 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 5, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's say a team of 10. A program manager is elected via a DAO vote and can be replaced via the same mechanism. Fine. Expenses multi-sig, reporting and KPIs. So disclose a detailed expense breakdown monthly, maintain up-to-date, at least bi-weekly public Kanban with work items undertaken by the team, monthly progress reports including achievements, challenges identified, and priorities. Make themselves available to ask delegate questions. I would add to that publicly available video call to discuss what's happening as a team and to make sure they're all on the same page for some oversight. And I guess it's in a format that's not text-based. But this is brilliant. This is what I like about people like Daniel Ospina. They've been in DAOs for a long time, so they understand what the shortcomings will be before they even hit them. And accountability is a big one. What will the team work on? So he has started at this point. Agent kit. Okay, so this is what they want. Okay, as a start, fine. Budget 500k USD. That's a lot of chocolate. Funds will be managed. Expenses multi-sig top up 10k per month. Steps to implement. Brilliant. Okay. Long story short, this got killed in the crib. This proposal was killed in the crib. I don't know if killed is the right word. It was iced, unalived. It was snuffed out, let's say. So what's happened is basically people are quite excited by this idea. No KPIs outlined yet, blah, blah, blah. Proposal requests a 500k budget with 372k allocated to team salaries. I hate hate's a strong word. I really dislike when people start to do this. Okay, so we don't know what the budget's going to be. This isn't overall thing. Take 500k, start to look at what the KPIs are. Everything is done transparently. So the transparency is the main thing. Daniel Ospina has been around a while. It's not likely he's going to do a cash grab, throw out 500k and then give people money for having Twitter spaces and doing nothing else aside from that. Finally, I recall that the foundation previously had a $1 million grant aimed at powering AI innovation on Arbitrum. Okay, so, and this is what killed the idea. Okay, so there's a huge idea here. AI agents start using budget for any amount can't be properly evaluated at this stage as there are still too many unknowns, but I'm excited about this one. I love that. So I'm going to give that one a little heart. Okay, so then Daniel comes back and he answers. So what happens by the end of this proposal, basically, in a nutshell, is that I will skip to the end, as there's a quicker way to do it, is that Daniel decides after discussion with OCL, which is Off-Chain Labs, that they're pausing this proposal. Off-Chain Labs are already working on enabling an AI framework and has some capabilities to serve as a point of contact for AI builders. Our view is that this point of contact service is poorly advertised across Arbitrum digital properties, and we invite OCL and the foundation to coordinate in improving access to OCL customer support services by making them more prominent and known across the DAO too. Yes, true. So there is something there, and it's so well hidden that Daniel Ospina, who is one of the top delegates on Arbitrum, doesn't even know about it, right? And that's not because he's an idiot. It's because they're not showing anything. Maybe they're just taking the money. He's not going to go that far because that would be quite insulting. A grantee info pack or builder info pack with all the resources available could be created or maintained. Off-Chain Labs and Arbitrum Foundation coordinating to organizing recurring monthly AMAs and roundtables to map and address builder needs and signal a welcoming ecosystem. Daniel on the spot, Ospina. Generally, we see similar activities have been tried, but are in our view not enough. Our hunch is that more relational component is needed. It's not about having the documentation, info, resources, but having someone to talk to or feel handheld. We share that this simply as feedback with the caveat that we haven't researched the merits gaps of the customer support offered. We also realized our communication between delegates, Arbitrum Foundation, Off-Chain Labs system development could be improved, and have proposed to the Arbitrum Foundation, Off-Chain Labs to organize a monthly call to share with delegates what they're working on in these areas. And here we have, this is play of the episode. So Daniel Ospina, he's done play of the episode. I'm calling this play of the episode because what he is basically doing is saying, you guys have got this money, you're doing this job, but no one knows what you're doing. No one even knows where you are, and you're not really helping anybody. So now come and speak to the delegates and let's start to hold you accountable. And that's what he's doing. And I think it's brilliant. He's tagged in a bunch of people, including myself, because I went up and I said this. The discussion around not missing the AI chair proposal has been insightful, and I appreciate the proactive decision. This is insightful based on all the other delegates discussing. Often is this emphasis refers to key strength of decentralized government, adapting decision-making based on community feedback and alignment of ongoing initiative. I am a little worried that such a large chain has solutions being modeled out for such a large industry, but only one team. I don't think it should only be Off-Chain Labs. If it's only one team, it needs to be a team that is better than them. They are not doing a good job of it, as highlighted by the fact that Daniel Ospina didn't know that they existed. I think there is still room for a project like this, perhaps on a smaller scale, with key deliverables such as collaborate to launch an AI launchpad, create a weekly or monthly demo show on YouTube, monthly hackathon collaboration with prizes, all things that Off-Chain Labs should be doing. And one of them, weekly or monthly demo show on YouTube, is something that was almost touched on by Ospina himself. Smaller team, smaller budget. AI is not a flash in the pan. Every single one of the top tech companies almost dropped everything they're doing to also jump on the bandwagon. We need to not only jump, but leap. I'm looking forward to seeing how this progresses. And Ospina then reiterates to me, because he had said it further on, and I put this comment hoping that he would reconsider, because I don't think we should leave it to Off-Chain Labs. I may even put that. I don't think we should leave it to Off-Chain Labs. We should give them a further 2 weeks, and if they haven't even had the courtesy to say this is when we'll hold calls and this is when we will discuss with delegates, then we should just put forward another proposal with something that is being transparent and will probably work, and probably doesn't even need $1 million, because that $1 million could well be embezzlement. Let's move on. For me, I love this proposal. I wish that it had gotten further and more fleshed out. It's a shame that I think Daniel Ospina has decided, instead of building something which I feel he would do much better at than the people that are currently doing it, he's decided instead of that he'll police them. I don't like that, but such is life. I guess when the original proposal went through, I don't know, I missed it, so maybe he missed it too. Or it might not have been something that had a proposal. Foundation might have just given it over to them. So for me, I would have loved to see this one play out, but we didn't get to. So let's move on to our next proposal, which is from Aave. Aave being the probably biggest lending platform in crypto. One of the biggest. It's up there. This one's quite a straightforward one. I'm going to race through it because I want to get everything wrapped up within half an hour. So this is a proposal to give the delegates some sort of incentive for being delegates. This is something that we looked at last week with Arbitrum. This week we're looking at it with Aave. The difference being that the Aave one is it's a little bit small potatoes. Aave is a protocol which is found on multiple chains. Arbitrum is a chain which houses multiple protocols. It's difficult to argue which one should have a bigger budget for this. Arguably, I would say Arbitrum, as I feel that they are doing more governance than Aave would need to do. Because the fact that they're based across multiple chains, I don't think is as much of a factor in whether or not they have to do multiple governance. Anyway, they want to fund delegates. I'm not a delegate. on Aave, and here's why. To be honest with you, 60,000 GHO. I believe GHO is a stable coin, but let's just make sure. GHO. Yeah, GHO is a stable coin. So it's $60,000 effectively, split across the 4 platforms, 15K per budget platform, streamed through 80 days, and it will go to the relevant delegates. Now, the delegates have to have a minimum of 20K voting power and 85% vote ratio on all snapshot and AIP will be considered in order to be eligible for the program. Now, where can we see how many delegates there are? Let's see. Let's just type it in, shall we? Aave delegates. The delegate distribution leaderboard. Nope. That's a proposal. Delegates Aave. Okay, so they have to have at least, did it say 20K? Was it 20K voting power? That would take you down to load more. Oh, load more. This takes you quite far down. Load more. Load more. There's a bunch that are around 20K. Right, okay. So that will take you to here. So I guess we can count how many delegates are there. Copy. Right, I'm going to count this and I'm going to come right back. Okay. After that short pause, it turns out there are 78 delegates. Just counted them all up. 78 delegates sharing what was... Where were we? Let's get rid of you. 78 delegates sharing 60,000 GHO is $800 each, give or take. $800 per quarter for being a delegate. $200 per month. It's okay. It's not bad for a part-time job. Depending on how much time you have to put into it. On the last, let's see. No, I want to see how many actual proposals have been put forward that they've had to vote on. There's 4 currently ongoing at the moment that they've had to vote on. 10 checks they've got to vote on. Yeah, they've got a lot. They've got to do a lot of job. There's a lot of work for that money. So, how do I feel? I feel like the Aave delegates are clearly underfunded. I feel like this should be increased somewhat. But if they're getting their governance done, then more power to them. For me, it's not something that I would get involved in based on that. Simply not worth the time. And I think that may stop other delegates from making their way over to Aave and getting involved. So it's an interesting one. Well-written proposal, of course. You know what you get in. What would I have liked to have seen included here? No, nothing really. I do like the proposal. For me, of course, it would be a yes. There's not really an option to say it should be a higher amount or it should be a lower amount, of course, because there's only the 3 options. And within the discussion, I don't think anybody has really brought that up. So it's been a under-discussed proposal. It's kind of like a formality at this point. So let's finally move on to our last proposal, which is Cryptosi DAO. Okay, so Cryptosi DAO, as you well know, is a builder DAO, and we have got this partnerships proposal, which currently has got a whole bunch of yes votes. Let's read the full proposal. The idea is that Cryptosi DAO initializes instantiates a decentralized partnerships initiative, which will allow the DAO to partner with other decentralized projects. It will standardize the partnership process, ensure all partnerships are aligned, introduce governance oversight, establish a 12-month maximum partnership duration, and publish all documentation to GitHub and Cryptosi DAO website for full transparency. And here's the implementation plan. 1 or 2 weeks to draft the framework, 3 or 4 weeks to get feedback. Hopefully there's no changes needed. I have done this before. This is actually my proposal. I have done this before, so I do know how to put this sort of thing together. So I would assume I would get it right with only minor tweaks needed. So partnership must be one of 4 things: the Cryptosi DAO tangible benefits, ecosystem growth, for legal compliance. Partnerships will be reviewed through one of 3 governance model: admin review, snapshot voting, or hybrid model. Admin review would be, we would have a partnerships team of 3 to 5 signatures. If they decide as a partnership, then the network is deciding as a partnership. They would obviously be clearly business dev, maybe one business dev person, one technical dev person, and one top delegate or community person, one of each. And if the 3 of those manage to agree a partnership should go ahead, then it would go ahead. That's in the situation, especially when you might want a partnership which needs some sort of privacy, where the other side doesn't want it to be a publicly held discussion. It needs to be privately held. Those are the deliverables. That's the conclusion. Formalizing this process, fair, high quality, and mutually beneficial collaborations. So it's to stop us partnering in a rushed fashion, or because one person decides that we should partner with some project that turns out to be a rug pull or a scam or anything like that. So that's a proposal. For me, it's a perfectly written out proposal, of course. What I could have done to improve it is say a little bit about when I've done this process before and show the outcome. So I should have really linked to the PIVX Alliances work that I'd done some years ago. That would have been helpful. Didn't do that. That would have made it better. Away from that, though, obviously this is a yes from me. This is something that I believe all DAOs should have in some way or shape or form. They currently don't. They just have foundations which you have to go and speak to, where you generally can't get to speak to them, so it never happens. There should be a decentralized way for it to happen, whereby a random person can be incentivized to go and eke out this partnership, write it out, what the partnership will entail, who should do what on both sides, get it agreed by both sides, and then push it forward to a vote. That should be something that should be able to be done in a centralized manner. And there's no votes and there's no abstains yet. So I think this one's going to pass. And on that note, thank you for watching. If I've said anything that has offended you, please leave it in the comments below. Of course, there will be some talk about people having lost their seed phrase. I always get those in the comments. Don't try and type that seed phrase in anywhere. You will get rugged. Please share if your project was mentioned here. If you're in Dash and you want more people to know about Dash, you want people to know that there is a thriving governance ecosystem where people are avidly discussing tokenomics and avidly discussing the way forward for the project. If you're in Arbitrum and you want people to realize that you guys are not trying to miss the AI chain, it just so happens that off-chain labs have spent a lot of time with their fingers in their kulu. Or if you're from Aave and you feel I've been harsh saying that the amount of money you're paying your delegates is chicken change, then feel free to comment and share it and let everybody know that your project is the best. Tribalism is great. I've been Cryptosi. This has been DAO Watch episode 36. I will be back next week with DAO Watch episode 37 because I am consistent. Thanks for watching. Adios, muchachos.